Mike Rayburn, CombatGunfighting.com. A number of years ago, I wrote an article titled The Trigger Control Fallacy. Firearms instructors will tell you to take a deep breath in, let half out, slowly squeeze the trigger until the round goes off as a surprise to you. They tell you to take the middle of the first pad of your index finger and place that on the trigger and slowly squeeze it rearward. It's not very realistic. It's certainly not realistic for combat shooting on the street when somebody's trying to kill you from 5, 10, or 15 feet away. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Let me give you this example. If I were to take your gun, line it up on target, lock it into a heavy metal vise that was bolted to a heavy metal table that was bolted to the concrete floor of the range. As long as your gun didn't move, I pulled that trigger, where would your bullet go? Right into the target. Where else would it go? I could tie a piece of string to that trigger and pull it as hard and as fast as I could. As long as the gun didn't move, where would your bullet go? Into the target again. So what does trigger control have to do with anything? It's grip. It's your tight, convulsive grip that has to do with anything, with accurate shooting. Not your trigger. Too much finger, too little finger, you squeezed it too quickly, you squeeze it. It's not realistic. It's a fallacy. It's a myth. Let me give you two stories from officers who were involved in a shooting. The first one, backup got there just as the shooting ended, and he's yelling at the officers, the backup officers, "Look at my hand, look at my hand. I've been shot in my hand." And the officers looked at his hand, there was no injury. He had squeezed that gun so tightly that he thought he had been shot in his hand because his hand hurt so much. A second officer that recounted this story to me, several minutes after the shooting was over, he looked at his hand and he had checkering in his hand from squeezing that grip so tightly. The trigger is a mechanical device. It goes rearward and forward. It doesn't go side to side. If it does, you've got a problem with your firearm, get it fixed. But it's the grip, it's not the trigger that makes you accurate. Mike Rayburn, CombatGunfighting.com.